Yeah, I'm ready. Wait, what did MJ say we're calling this again? Oh, right. No, I got it. I know we're live. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Live. In person, live Raw. Welcome back to News of My Fiance. Raw, live, in person, live Raw with Morgan Jones and myself, DJ Ambush. We are reporting live from Portland. Which is not what? What are you going to say? Okay. Pull your mic closer.
Whoops. All right, let's start here. It's not like I just showed up.
Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your support. Be a part of the Text Chat Fam Squad and join the conversation in the chat. Chats are open on Facebook as well as YouTube.
I'm sorry, but can I move my mic to this side?
Sure.
Because I feel like I got to do this now.
That's where it's actually supposed to be at.
So I was going to say that, but I didn't want to.
Blame me.
Not in front of company.
Our listeners are no stranger to that.
To what?
Blame in front of company?
Oh, well, accountability is what I'm hearing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whose
okay.
part? Oh. I don't know where this is starting or ending.
Shout out to our studio sponsors, We Out Here Magazine and Spirited Justice, for providing us with a studio space for the majority of our broadcasting. We are forever grateful and couldn't be where we are today without them, without that support.
Amen.
For real, community always, love y'all forever. Today we are back at Lily's.
Yeah.
And the announcement there is this is our new home as we start to raise funds for our upcoming production studio build. Mm-hmm. We've got some plans in the works and pretty excited.
Yeah.
So shout out to our production team, Kyle of Residual Audio, Jess and Ross, and our remote quality controller, Michelle. Hope you're feeling okay, babes. Mm-hmm. For making sure that this show happens every single Monday. And of course, shout out to all of y'all for watching, listening, and staying engaged with us.
Now, before we get started, fiancés, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and ring that mother effing bell so the algorithm notices us.
Do it.
Become a member over at patreon.com/newsofmyfiance to support our ever-expanding show. We just want to spend more time with you while getting our bills paid. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, let's get this quality time popping.
Ambush, today is different.
Why?
I brought Frank with me.
Oh, yes.
And
Francis Castle.
One Sir Francis Castle. Behind me, I don't know if anyone notices, there is a record for Big Pun.
There is. I left space. I thought you were going to bring some items, so I left space. That's why there's gaps there.
I didn't even notice gaps.
Yeah.
All I knew was I brought Frank the Punisher. Big Pun is behind me.
Nah.
That's what's different.
I feel you. No. Makes sense.
Got my squad with me today. Today we're going to talk about the Billionaire water hoarders. Cali's 1% that stole 60% of the water, which is really cool, especially during
times like this.
Yeah. Who could have seen a public good not being in the right place in the right hands by being privatized? I wonder who could have seen that coming, even in the 80s. The DOJ did their big one, I believe is what it's called.
Yikes.
And they released a report on the Tulsa Race Massacre. And I'll give you the Cliff Notes. Whoops, we did that? Was it us?
I don't like it.
Is this movie about us?
I do not like it.
And Trump the Untouchable. Sentenced, but make it no consequences. That's what we'll get into later in the show. After the break, all the things. We have plenty of other things to chat about.
Yeah.
It's been a busy weekend for the news cycle, as it were.
It has been.
Yeah.
We had so much news that we had an overabundance of news. And
we already have 2 stories for Thursday.
We got stories for Thursday.
Yeah.
Sitting ready to go.
Ready.
Yeah. So,
where do you want to start?
I want to say for someone who lost one of the biggest rap battles in history, they sure are winning a lot of our time. They sure are finding ways to just stay in the conversation with their antics.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Let's jump into that Drake.
Messy Boys.
Let's jump into the Messy Boys.
Messy Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have extensively talked about the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Mm-hmm.
We thought maybe we don't really need to talk about this anymore. We were wrong. We were wrong.
Yeah.
Drake or someone leaked the song Fighting Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Freestyle or Fighting Irish Freestyle. All of the scuttle is like, this is obviously about LeBron.
So for anyone that doesn't know, the Fighting Irish is a freestyle that leaked. Was it last week? It was last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leaked last week, in which Teray describes it as a breakup song with LeBron. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what it is. It's very much bitter baby mama behavior.
Yeah.
And I am using that term derogatorily.
Right.
Derogatorily.
In the most derogatory
In the
fashion.
most derogatory way I can by calling him a bitter baby mama.
Right.
Because I don't see the bitter baby mamas in real life as much as I hear about them. But Drake is the epitome. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why so many of us liked him, was he was like, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this thing. And my feelings are hurt. So I'm just going to tell you that my feelings are hurt and why and what I want to do about it. It in this context, the reason this hits so different for me is what has been exposed about Drake is that he is an outsider to the culture, not just, you know, a weirdo, for lack of a better word. Like,
now, when you say outsider to the culture, are you referring to hip hop culture or black culture?
Both.
Okay, cultures.
Fair. Fair. And that is not to say that Drake isn't a great artist and Drake hasn't been a part of the culture and Drake hasn't added to it. I'm not saying that he only takes away or that he's even would look like he's peripheral to it.
Right.
What I mean is he has a misunderstanding of the cultures.
Right.
Because he's not a part of them the way that he is purporting to be a part of them. And that would be fine if you weren't saying, I am the culture, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that he said that.
Yeah, not that he's proudly proclaiming it, but he's moving as if he is an ambassador of the culture.
Right.
Right.
And he's not, because he doesn't understand it. And so then maybe he is, because that is kind of just how it works here. The least qualified gets the job.
Yeah.
What has been hard for me with this very obvious Drake spiral, because I'm not here for anybody who's not willing to live in the same reality. Your boy is down bad. Your boy is down bad, big bad. He's not doing well, and his friends aren't checking on him. And this is a message to his no longer friends, who he thought was besties, brothers, whatever.
Right.
Tag teamers, you know. Well,
I have some thoughts about that, but go ahead.
Drake has a pattern, and I think it's important to notice patterns. And one of the patterns that Drake has is when he is feeling away. Great song. When he is feeling away.
You know about it. Or at least his writers make sure you know about it.
Dag.
What'd you say?
Dag. Yikes. That's not where I thought. All I'm trying to say is that he has a tendency to bring up the women in whoever's life he is upset with.
Yes.
And this is not, and so, yes, sometimes it's hilarious. Sometimes it's like, wow. How'd you roast him so hard? Wow.
Okay. So you said sometimes it's hilarious.
Is that your...
What are you going to say?
Is that a world tour or your girls tour? That was hilarious.
No. All right. Thank you for interrupting me and saying that, because that is hilarious.
Thank you.
I was going to say, but are we also admitting that we were caught in a world that Drake created, an ecosystem that he created, one where some of the rules of engagement have changed based on him being such a prevalent artist for as long as he's been within music. Shout out to my man Prez, Philly. Prez is one of the dopest MCs I have ever come in contact with.
Tight.
Like, off the top, Prez is amazing. He was like, how can you be a top tier with writers? And that face, bro.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you with my face.
No, but I just want to throw that out there. Yeah.
I mean, one of my things is I'm not mad at collaboration.
No.
I don't have an issue with that.
No.
I'm also a person, a lover of music. Y'all probably gonna come together and make a better song if you get some help.
Right.
That takes nothing away from your talent or ability or creativity to me, until you start lying about it.
Right.
When you start lying about it and you're like, I would never ghost write, huh? Like,
me. Fam,
it's the same thing with Push. You are a ghostwriter and you have collaborators.
Yeah.
We don't need to act like you're the only person that's ever thought of the words, and I'm not speaking directly to Push. I just mean
in general.
In general, we don't need to do that.
Right.
I don't even know who that's for. Like, I really don't, right. Because the people that spend money on their music now, they don't care.
They don't care. It's for the purists. It's for the culture bearers. It's for the people whose opinions used to matter before Drake came along. And it's not that he's like the singular artist that's changed that, but he has moved the needle in a way that things that used to bother people before, they just don't. They just don't.
They're just not a big deal anymore.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I think that's true for a lot of things that with Drake.
Mm-hmm.
So recently, though, the song comes out. It's about LeBron. I don't need anybody to tell me that it's not. It's called The Fighting Irish. We could have left it there.
It's absolutely about LeBron.
But there are multiple snitch moves within this song that these are the moments where I'm like, he is outside of he does not get it.
Right.
And I don't mean like bro code. Like, he breaks that all the damn time.
Yeah.
That's a part of who he is. Again, patterns. Too many other famous men have something to say about Drake sneaking up on the lady at some point. So that's what you do.
Right.
Yes, it is weird. And you need to figure out how to get your validation a different way.
Yikes.
But I lost my point. In these patterns.
Mm-hmm.
The snitch move. So my thought is, yes, there's bro code. There's also simple, like you're embarrassed because LeBron didn't. Wow, that was a nice catch.
Yeah, it was.
You're embarrassed because LeBron went to the pop out. You're embarrassed because LeBron has been recorded singing and dancing along to multiple songs that are not putting you in the best light. At no point have you figured out how to take an L through any of this?
No, absolutely not.
At no point have you figured out how to chill for a moment. He needed to just go away and come back with hits. That's what he was supposed to do. That's what the boy does. The boy makes hits, right?
Right. He makes hits. Undeniable.
Instead, you are literally doing a Messy Boy tour, and he's trying to do, and I'm not going to get trying not to go too far off into a tangent, but DJ Academics has been, Drake's mouthpiece when Drake wants something to be delivered directly to the Black community and with credibility.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I do not respect DJ Academics, and I never have, so he does not have credibility when it comes to me. And it just continues to, I am proven right on why I don't like and fuck with Academics.
Right.
I am proven right every time this person's name is trending for any reason.
Right.
This time, Drake got you looking like the side piece you are. He's feeding you mis and disinformation, making you look like a fool, and you out here trying to crash out behind it.
And you still never met this guy in person.
He is going on other people's streams because he and those other people are contractually obligated, right? He couldn't go on your stream because he wants to. He couldn't go on your stream because he wants to actually talk to the audience that he's trying to get to.
It's interesting because he's having this crash out moment with LeBron because he's like, you're my mans, you're my boy. You're not supposed to do me like this. You're literally creating and instigating the exact same crash out moment for Ack.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to be your boy, but you're nobody's boy.
He's nobody's boy.
You have a pattern.
There's the pattern.
Yeah, you have a pattern.
Loyalty means everything to him and nothing from him.
Yeah.
He is not going to give that. He don't know what it looks like. Not if there's something that he wants or, needs that's in between it. He's not good, doesn't care. And for me, that was shown a long time ago. We could just sit with the fact that you got too many people that are way too talented sitting on shelves rather than actually making music that makes it to the people. That to me means you ain't loyal to your friends off rip.
Bruh.
Because you keep doing this, come with me and I'm a mate. You're Drake. If I'm party next door, I'm losing my mind and I'm not friends with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have stopped being friends with that dude hella long ago. Just for making me look bad.
Right.
Maybe you're super nice. But how come I can never put an album out that gets any push? How come I can't? I'm doing all this writing and producing for you, but mine look be for real. So anyway, to bring it back, sorry, I don't mean to take up too much time with
you have a passion for party, and I understand that.
I do.
You love party. You wish he was treated better. You enjoy I enjoy his contributions. You know what I'm saying? You put me on a party though, so I understand.
I absolutely hate to see the exploitation.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yes.
It's not enough to be linked if the link doesn't give you anything. Unless he's paying for your lifestyle or something, then I don't understand. I don't get it. But okay, so to bring this back around.
Right.
Drake starts to do the dry snitching.
Right.
And that is passive aggressive Drake, I would hate to have to tarnish your public image. Oh, wow, I don't want to have to go and do something like that. And then moments later, a couple days later, somebody dropped some DMs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to say somebody because Chris Blake dropped some DMs between he and Drake in that offers a scenario. My situation with UMG is much more like if Nike were to do a campaign against LeBron saying he cheated on his wife.
Right.
Not Nike or not Adidas, not someone else, like Nike, the company he been with.
Right.
That's what my situation is like. Drake calls Academics, or Academics calls Drake, I mean.
Yeah,
and,
to verify. Right.
And Ac is like, let me verify this, bro. Is this real? And supposedly, Drake was like, absolutely not. It's a fake. Deep fakes.
Yeah.
Deep fakes.
They're going to come with the fakes, bro. Don't fall for the fakes.
Don't fall for that AI. Only I use AI. You know? So what does Academics do? Academics goes and he's like, please, this is fake. Fake news. My source is The Boy.
Right. It's interesting how they say The Boy.
I hate it.
Blake, what's his name? Blake?
It's Chris Blake Griffith.
Blake Griffith. I listened to some of the interview he did with Ak, and they're like, the boy. And I'm like, if you don't go somewhere with this foolishness,
They love it.
I'm not going to make him cool. Yeah,
I mean,
boy.
he was cool for a long time, but it was a different kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that other people, y'all don't want to say what kind of cool it was. It's not the regular kind of cool. But that doesn't matter.
Right.
So he drops these DMs. Drake says it's a lie. Axe says it's a lie. Chris comes back with the scrolling, the screen record of these are in fact the actual DMs.
Right.
Then one DJ Academics is like, my journalistic integrity. What? I better check in on this. And then does an interview with this dude. You couldn't have done that before?
He's never had a reason to.
I mean, I guess you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
When you're friends with the boy, and the
boy don't lie.
And the boy has never led you
The boy
astray.
ain't never lied to you.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you got to that part in the conversation that they had where...
I did. He was like, first time in history, the boys lied. Sure.
Well,
sure.
Let's be clear.
Me.
Yeah. Like he said, this is the first time I've seen him outwardly just lie.
Yeah.
And Academics was like, this is putting me in a pickle.
Yeah.
I'm in a bind. I don't think you're in that big of a bind. What you could do is say, Drake lied to me. I didn't expect that. My bad. Like, if your journalistic integrity matters, then tell your audience you told them something that wasn't true. Go back on Twitter and say, oops, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
It appears Aubrey told me something that wasn't real. But he won't do that because what? This entire time we keep asking, like, what is he waiting for to ask the questions or do the whatever? You know what I'm saying? And I thought maybe you wanted an interview. I thought maybe you wanted him to come on your stream. Apparently you don't care about that. So what are we doing?
Right.
What's the point? I'm really not like trying to just dogpile, but like,
right.
Fam, you are getting used and abused in front of everybody and you're just fine with it. And in any other scenario, Ak would be jumping out of his gaming chair to tell us about how whack this person is for getting in themselves in a position like this. I'm just like, you're out. So, okay. So then Ak loses it.
Right.
And he says, Drake might continue to tease this, but I'm not. I done talked to enough of these women. I done talked to ball players. You and Drake were doing two-mans. You don't get to dance to songs calling him a pedophile. A PDF file.
Yeah.
Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Ambush, would you like to talk to me about why he wouldn't be able to like a song simply because he has maybe engaged in some extracurricular activities with said person?
No.
Oh.
There's no it's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. Period. Like, fact of the matter is, this is not the first Kendrick song that LeBron has liked. The issue is,
no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the issue is,
and they were friends too, or are
right,
friends. Like
been friends. The issue is, your man's is feeling some type of way that despite his best efforts, he can't turn this situation around.
He can't right this ship.
He can't right this ship. This ship has sailed.
This ship look bad.
Yeah, the ship has sailed on some real. Like, now he's doing things that are really, really playing him out of position. Like, you're snitching on LeBron? You're a bro?
Because back to the pattern. Is he a rapper that you were doing a rap beef with, number one? Number two, trying to ruin someone's life or career or public image and all of that because they went to a concert. Like, I get it. I am a person that understands why Drake is mad. I'm not saying let that go or whatever.
Right.
I'm certainly not in agreement with going on a smear campaign, but also you full-blown say, like, what he doesn't understand about the culture is you're a snitch now.
Right.
On someone who is like one of the most beloved NBA players of all time and community members of whatever community LeBron James lives in. Too many people love that man.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
They love his family.
You cannot tarnish LeBron.
Like they don't, what?
It's not going to work.
It's a silly thing to do. So to me, you don't understand any of this culturally.
Also, I think it was Justin. It was either Justin or Rob Mark. I think it was Justin. He was saying, well, isn't Drake part owner in the Raptors? Like, do you think LeBron would have an issue with you rooting for the Raptors? Like, you're being silly. Oh, like,
I mean, come on.
When it comes to sports, Drake, again, I don't know, like, you be around stuff, but you're not bright.
Okay.
And when it comes to sports, we have watched athletes be horrible people, like horrible people, and still maintain public support. LeBron is nothing close to that. So if you think that you're, you
can't Michael Vick LeBron James.
It's not happening.
To be clear.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Like you're not able to do that because he has already built this reputation.
Right.
And at this point, because it's you and it's because the way you're doing it, say everything that Axe said is true. Do you think that people are literally going to be mad at LeBron or they're going to be mad at you for digging your nose in someone else's business?
That's what they're going to do. He's turning the magnifying glass on himself. People immediately going to come to LeBron's defense like, well, what about your allegations?
So to me, it's such a silly thing to do because, sir, so you mean to tell me that you were lending a hand to that false reputation? You were helping make sure that the entire world had the wool pulled over their eyes, that LeBron was this great man, Right. Like, you were totally fine with him cheating on his wife. You were totally fine with him doing two-mans. You were totally fine with him doing whatever. Until he's no longer just doing whatever it is that makes you feel most comfortable. There's an emotional maturity that Drake never got. I don't know if he lost it on set or he never got it and never had an option. This is not how friendships work. And certainly not how friendships work when you have a huge network.
Yeah, you really got to have friends to know how friendships work.
You really do. And that means more than people that actually you're just paying.
Right.
More than the dudes at the embassy. You know what I mean?
Yikes.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
And if you thought you had it, you wouldn't be doing this.
Right. Shout out to the chat real quick on Facebook. It is popping. Joy is back.
Hi, Joy.
The homie Toom in here. Let me see. My man Sharp. What's good? Like it's popping. It's popping.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
You know what I'm saying? Kyle is right. Those shelves need way more figures.
They do. We're getting there, Kyle. We're getting there, Kyle. We'll take this, also the suggestions of which ones you think should go up there.
Kyle also said LeBron is protected at the presidential level.
No, literally.
He's untouchable.
Literally.
Like, this is a...
And this isn't even like me saying that's a great thing.
Wait. He did it again?
Untouchable Bronny?
No.
What?
Drake, for the third time, went after someone untouchable? Someone outside of his reach?
Patterns.
Push, absolutely not.
Patterns.
Kendrick, absolutely not. LeBron, absolutely not. He's like he's seeking the losses. I asked in the chat. I'm going to ask y'all.
Wait. Maybe that's what's happening. Let's stop it all. Maybe he is on a quest that nobody else knows about right now. And instead of Pokemons, he gets L's.
He's collecting L's.
Collecting them.
Got to catch them all.
Okay. You said what?
I asked in the chat, do they think, I asked in the Facebook chat, do y'all think that Kendrick will inherit this beef for LeBron? I'm praying for it. I just want more Kendrick disses. I want more Kendrick disses. I would thoroughly enjoy it. And as someone who said,
he's done it for less. I was going to say, he's done it for less.
Yeah, I'll inherit the beef.
It's an interesting thought for me, especially while his youngins are currently inheriting beefs.
Yeah. Kyle, in reference to Drake chasing down losses, he said, don't kink shame the man.
No kink shaming ever. For real. Whatever makes you happy, I suppose. But, well, within reason. This is getting gross for him, though. Like,
yeah,
maybe
super.
Don't do your kink in front of all of us all the time. Like, yikes. I forgot what I was going to say. I was in the middle of something.
We're saying something about him chasing those L's and the pattern.
All of it's a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to your point of going against people that you actually shouldn't and maybe wearing the confidence of something that no longer matters a little too heavy.
Right.
Like, there was no question what happened with Meek Mill. There was no, I wonder who won, you know? Like, I think he took that energy and thought, I just do this.
I'm nice with it.
Like, buried him. That's what I do. That's what I do. And then that's not what he does.
Right.
It's not what he does. He does bury people's projects, though.
Oh.
You know? Like, he does bury their popularity. But he doesn't bury rappers that are rapping. And for whatever reason... And he is a rapping rapper. Like, that. The thing that makes me mad is that when ever talking about this, you got to make it sound like he doesn't do it. He does it.
Yeah. In all fairness.
In all fairness, he does it.
Drake can rap.
That's a lot of years of a lot of hits, a lot of great songs. He can write for himself and for others.
Y'all remember Blog Era Drake. Like, y'all remember Blog Era Drake. Come on, man.
And now this is his second blog era. And this time he just wants to be able to get mentioned. On the blogs. He wants to be mentioned.
Yikes.
Like an around the way girl. Like, you are literally like, oh, let me just whisper something in Axe ear. And then now you both look like the biggest fucking goofies.
Yeah. Man's just wilding.
I can't imagine. Like, this is it will backfire. For a person who had a backfire, do you remember, Ambush? I am old enough to remember when he went at Kobe's wife for no apparent reason. Just like, I'm a single person who's never been married and I'm going to talk about the potential of divorce. I don't know. Like, I don't know why he thought he would need to say anything about Vanessa Bryant getting 150 M's and it could never be him.
He really does.
He had to come out and apologize for that because he's a stupid goofy. You had no reason to bring her up into a song. And I'm not going to front. Bitch, you wasn't shooting in the gym. That's hilarious. That was Rick Ross who said it. But it was hilarious. Loved it. But what are you doing? Are you beefing with Kobe or Vanessa? Which of the Bryants or do you have a problem with? And you had to come out and apologize for that because it was stupid. So you've already had to do these kind of things. This isn't the first time that you've gone against somebody, a basketball player. This is dumb.
He don't rap. Brian don't rap.
Like, he don't know the songs, the words to his favorite song. He wants to rap it so bad, but he does not know the words. That's what we know of LeBron. He likes to carry books. He does not like to read them.
Facts.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get my feelings hurt because you're dancing to a song. If I know for certain, you don't even know what the words are.
Right.
This is not happening. It's not clicking and sticking in there. But what he certainly isn't a rapper. And what is not supposed to happen is this person who is, what you're doing is literally I'm going to take everybody down with me, which is not respectable. It's just not respectable.
That's how UMG feels.
What?
That's how UMG feels.
That's where it started.
Why are you snitching on what we do?
Why are you being weird to me?
Why are you being weird to me? This is what we've been doing together. This is our thing.
Baby, you built this house. Like, you helped build this house.
Bruh.
Why do you have a problem with this house now? The foundation, you in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why it's a petition to ask for more information. It's not a lawsuit. We all need to get better about saying what it is. It's a petition for information because you're like, I've got a sneaky suspicion. I wonder where you got that suspicion, Drake. Does it have anything to do with you benefiting from that?
That boy, wow. He's wild.
Lastly, I just want to say there is a moment that just doesn't make sense to me. And please, chat, help me out. He has started these petitions in order to say that this is defamation, right?
Right.
What Drake said isn't true. I mean, what Kendrick said isn't true about me. That is defamation. And my record label, his also, has aided and abetted that defamation. They helped disseminate that defamation.
Right.
Why would you use that as the example of what's happening when in that DM he says, this would be my situation with Universal, is like if Nike went at LeBron saying that he cheated on his wife.
Right.
The issue I find with that, and especially the timing I find hilarious, is that Fighting Irish had just dropped where you are alluding all over there that LeBron James cheats on his wife. Then there's this DM. So is it true that he does that? Or are you saying it's not true and it would be a lie? It would be a smear campaign if that were done? Because you don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to be the victim and the victor here. So either is defamation, right?
Or is real rap.
Or is real rap raw.
Right.
Because what you're saying in Fighting Irish is this real rap raw.
You know what else he said in Fighting Irish?
What'd he say?
Where is it at? Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me.
Oh.
Right? That was a body double. We've done dozens of switches.
I have many thoughts on that.
So that line specifically, that was a body double, and we've done dozens of switches. After, the whole, we've been two man and broads.
Indeed.
That made me think. Like, Justin had mentioned it, Company Man, he had mentioned it, but not in this context. But I'm in here, I'm setting up, I'm listening, and there was something in the moment when he said it, and I was just like, bing. Did Mans just admit to stealthing?
Yes.
Holy crap. Like,
yes.
Fam, what are you doing?
Yes.
What are you doing? Dog, you cannot,
In real life, on a recorded track that he definitely leaked and then pretended he didn't.
Right.
Wrote it by himself or with help.
Dog.
Wrapped it in front of people that it got recorded.
You can't. Absolutely not.
This is the same person who said, I'm way too famous to be doing any of the things you guys say I do.
Because
I'd be caught up.
I'd be caught.
I'd be in jail already. Fuck you mean? I'm way too famous. I'm way too rich to get away with that kind of stuff. Which, if we're ever going to start talking about like being for real and believing people when they tell us who they are, that should have, if you weren't already to a place of like, Drake don't make any fucking sense anymore.
Right.
That should have like kicked it up 18 notches for you.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Do you know the thing? Do you watch the news? Do you know who keeps getting rich and powerful men been getting away with this forever?
Right.
Still doing it to now. This second somebody is doing something to someone, a rich and powerful man is doing something to someone.
Right.
And he's not going to get caught for it for a long time. And there's a lot of people that know about it. And what you're telling me is that you are a person that would literally just sit by and watch the bad things happen and then hold those secrets because you're bros, because you're besties.
That was definitely,
and then the moment you're not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was definitely part of the, qualifying factor of them being bros and besties, that he could hold those secrets, that we had that dirt together.
Well, how else would we bond?
Yeah. You don't know how to do real friendships. But speaking of rich and powerful men.
Yeah. Getting away with it?
Rich and powerful men, maybe even some women, did not get away with putting a arena for the 76ers in Chinatown. And let me tell you something. I'm not a big sports fan. Sharp, you know this. I'm not a big sports fan. But I am from a Philadelphia suburb. We're serious. We're serious about the Sixers because I'm still a carryover from the Iverson era. Still a carryover. Love the Sixers. Am I an Eagles fan? Absolutely not. Born in D.C., Commanders. We had a good win yesterday. Anyways.
He had a good win, didn't
he? He had a good win. Yeah.
He doesn't watch.
20-23. We squeaked away with the win.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Eked it out,
Field goal things. Anyways, these ridiculous developers and the Sixers and the mayor, y'all corrupt mayor in Philadelphia, were pushing hard to get the Sixers new facility, new stadium built downtown in Chinatown. The type of damage that would be done to that neighborhood, irreparable. We covered this, I believe, on the Thursday show. We covered it before.
Yeah.
Talked about the impact that it would have on just a lot of the services that people are relying on down there. The hospital, how it impacts transportation. For the most part, all of our sports facilities in Philadelphia are in South Philly. They're out the way, right off the highway, not in Center City.
Right.
This would have been the most terrible thing. And they were selling it like, hey, everybody get on board. It's going to be great. Just you watch. Sharp, watch that Commander suck. You got to chill out, B.
I was about to say, I don't know if you've seen this, but
yeah, for once, the thing that and it's so crazy. Shout out to No Arena, and there's a couple of different accounts I follow on Instagram. I thought for sure this is over and done. It's a wrap. Like, there's nothing. I mean, I understand people fighting, but when do we ever win these things? And when I saw it this morning, I was like, oh. Wow.
It happened.
Shit, it worked. It worked. There's no arena. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
We needed a win in 2025 already because it feels like we start building momentum and there's movement and we're about to, a people-powered movement is about to happen, and then, something squelches it.
Sharp said it would have been a total clusterfuck. Clusterfuck mania. I'm glad it didn't happen. Would have been so many people getting robbed on those trains.
I mean, fantastic point, Sharp.
Bruh. Nah, real talk.
The way that we are treating citizens as if we already live in Gotham. And by that, I mean, just like, who needs a resource?
Right.
Like, we don't even have any of those. We're just going to wait for the crime to happen so the Batman can come get you.
Right. He said there was one city councilman that was so pissed off, he damn near made threats to the 76ers organization. He said, I ain't going to forget this. Like, there's a list, not a list, but there's like an infographic of everyone that was down for this. And it's floating around social media. Like, we're not going to forget your faces. Like, when it comes time for re-election, we're not playing with y'all. Like, up out of here. They're already discussing the current mayor. This is going to be a one term for you.
Well, y'all needed to not give that person a term, but
yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
No, real talk. Real talk.
Living in a city where we keep giving people the wrong, we keep doing the same thing.
Right.
So it's no shade. It's just
when she was running, talking about stop and frisk. That was it for me. I'm over here watching like, what are y'all doing? I understand you want Philadelphia's first black woman mayor, but not with stop and frisk.
Never when it's at the expense of all of the other black women and men in your city.
Right.
And all of the brown people that are going to be impacted as well. Like, not when it's that. Never when it's that.
Right. Nah.
Like, the performative cute shit of having a black woman mayor is out. That's out. Like, I don't care the package that it comes in. We need actual action.
Right.
We need people that are looking to make sure that people are taken care of. And if any politician starts talking about things like tough on crime and stop and frisk, and they are serving someone else. They are not serving the people. They don't even let them give you the rhetoric of like, we need citizens safe.
Yeah. Don't fall for that.
The safest thing you can do is give people money. The safest thing you can do is give people money instead of giving that money to the police.
You're talking about socialism.
Fine. I'm still right. So even when y'all don't like the word that it comes with, I'm still right.
Right.
Why would people be getting robbed on a train? Because there's a bunch of people who don't have shit and a bunch of people that are coming into the city that do.
Facts.
You won't look at someone else's pockets if your pockets are fine. You're not looking for your next meal if you know where it comes from. And we know that.
Right.
This is not something that you have to guess about. Like we know it. We decide not to. So if the politicians aren't talking people over profits, they're not serving you.
Right.
And they're not going to start. Like this is the kind of thing. Keep this win in mind because we can do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Philly for real. Like that was not in my backyard that I'm here for.
Yeah.
Not in my center city. Like, you want to displace all of these people for an arena that you already have one.
Right.
Like, it's just, there's so much that, imagine all of the people that are suffering in that very specific part of the city.
Right.
That you are doing absolutely nothing for, and you're going to be like, you know what we really need to do? We should revitalize by doing an arena down, just congest everything.
Right.
Meanwhile, New York is doing congestion pricing.
Yeah.
You got to pay money to go around two blocks.
Bridges and the tolls and all. Yeah. They wilding out.
An arena in the middle, it's silly. It's what happens here when everybody gets their pipe dream that there's going to be MLB baseball or, you know, like there's going to be Major League Baseball, and we need to have we need an arena in the where?
Tell me where.
You want to put an arena where Lloyd Center is? Oh, cool. Where does everything happen then? Where does the rest of it happen? Surrounded by neighborhoods. Surrounded by residential houses.
And just what happens to this historic neighborhood? You know, what happens to Chinatown? Like, it was ridiculous. In reference to talking about not electing Sherelle, the current mayor, Sharp gonna say, I elect Dr. Umar. Absolutely not.
Okay, but Sharp, you about to get kicked out the chat. Excuse me?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He busy building a school. Let him handle that scandal. Don't elect him for nothing.
Shout out to my homie Theotis. Shout out to Chuck. What's going on, fam? People's up in the chat. Looking good.
Before we go to break, I want to hit this story.
Absolutely.
Because I need some information about it, and I feel like who better to talk to about some Seventh-day Adventists indoctrination.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to the homie Los from Unrefined Sophisticates podcast.
You know?
Yeah, I'm saying. Part of the production team over there. He shot us a TikTok earlier of a 16-year-old that was made to stand up in front of her whole church and apologize for being pregnant. And the pastor of the church, the faith leader, basically was like, this was at his request. He said that she should not be celebrated. She's not to be having a baby shower or anything. And
if she do, you better not attend it.
Listen.
And you better not throw it.
Right. So, there's that. There have been people responding, other TikToks responding, talking about their religious experiences and how they felt ostracized and how that affected their life, the ramifications of it. When I saw the video, when I saw that, I was incensed immediately. And we went back and, I was like, Losa shared a similar story that had happened with his family. And it was interesting because there's similarities in me, Los, and my homie Cliff's background of also John. There's a couple other people in our orbit. Got 7-Day Adventists in that background, If anyone doesn't know, 7-Day Adventists are fundamentally locked into the Old Testament. Very religious, no work on the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is actually Saturday. 7th day Adventist, Sunday being the first day. Very, very old school. Very, very old school. Very, very traditional. And very dated. I'm not sure what policies and practices they still participate in today or which ones have dissolved over the years. But the idea of having a child out of wedlock and that child being a bastard child is something I think is still maintained through the day. So if anyone doesn't know, having a child out of wedlock means that you are not married. You're having a child before marriage. And that is extremely frowned upon. Extremely frowned upon. As a matter of fact, it was frowned upon within every religion, Old Testament wise. You're not supposed to do that. Period. It's echoed in
But
Game
you
of
could
Thrones.
also be married at 9, right?
True. So why could you could be married at 9, so where's the need to have a child out of wedlock when you can get married so young?
My whole thing is those rules are called an Old Testament for a reason, right? There are things that don't even make sense to expect to happen today.
Right.
I've always had an issue with we choose these things and not these things,
Right.
And as much as I love a collaboration, I feel like if you're going to be locked in, you got to be locked in. I'm saying this as a non-religious person, and I've never been religious, and I have not had that indoctrination that so many have. Michelle in the chat said, didn't need that news to know that abusive cults are alive and well in the U.S.
Facts.
Kyle said, can't have a child out of wedlock, but can marry one. And that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
If you can get married at 9, I don't want to.
Yeah.
12, 13,
Yeah.
any of these numbers. I'm a person who thinks that when you are 20 something and you're like, I think we should get married. No, you shouldn't.
Right.
You don't even know each other. You don't even know you.
About nothing.
You don't know nothing about nothing.
I am grateful for social media for bringing moments like this, to the public and to larger audiences to not only just discuss it, but also for people to find solidarity through it.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what she's going through. I couldn't imagine that. And you're supposed to be going to your church family for support, for support, for backing, for guidance, especially at that age.
I mean,
and what do you get? Shame.
So I didn't get to see the actual video. Mm-hmm. Is she visibly pregnant?
I couldn't tell. It didn't look like it.
Okay.
It didn't look like it.
She found out. She went to someone for support.
Right.
Someone either told the pastor or the pastor was the person that she went to. And then the pastor...
Oh, I don't think she went to the pastor. I think she went to someone else and they took her. Because that's how it usually goes. Like, no matter what happens in the church, we got to tell the pastor.
Oh, I feel like you don't. I feel like don't.
Baby, no. I'm so glad you told me. Now let's take this to the pastor.
Oh, yeah. No, I would not have told anyone that if I knew that that's the thing that would happen.
You actually try to seek someone to take you who can like soften the blow of you going to the pastor. You want to find the best person to carry you into that moment. You're
and it's not your parents.
It most likely
could
isn't.
be.
It could be, but it most likely isn't.
These are things.
Between the two parents is going to be the mother, and then she might...
Plot twist, it's the pastor's baby. And that's all
okay.
What?
In this particular situation, that is not what's happening. This is not an episode of SVU.
Again, you don't know that. You have been presented with a clip of video. You don't know why that pastor shamed her so hard and what his personal stake might be. I don't know. Fair enough. But if Drake can do it, I can do it too. I'm just going to start lying.
Sharp brought up a good point. He's also from, a religious family, not Seventh-day Adventist. Okay. Pentecostal. But he was like, they have church mothers that are always in your business.
Okay, yeah. I mean.
So you do have your church mothers that you go to, and so it might not be your mom. You go to another church mom, let her know. And it's like, baby, we're going to do what's best. And what might end up happening... I'm
not going to tell your mom, but I'm going to tell the pastor. We got to go talk to the pastor.
So on some road, what might end up happening is that church mother then decides they're going to tell the pastor without telling you they're going to tell the pastor.
That's egregious.
And then it's like, baby, let me talk to you. After service, the pastor wants to have a word with you.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I'm running away.
That's how that works.
16 years old, I'm a runaway. Thank you for making me Brenda. Thank you.
Yeah.
What?
That's usually how that goes. So, or the way you keep it out the church is you tell your mama, and your mama says you should live with your cousin down south.
I was like, there is an alternative here. And the alternative is to disappear for the amount of time of the pregnancy. I don't understand what has happened.
Right.
These same pastors used to do that. Yeah. So, what?
Now...
Sharp, thank you. He said probably was his baby. I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
It was.
What's the over and under?
Okay.
On it being his baby that he doesn't want a baby shower for.
He don't want the baby.
But she's going to have the baby because they don't do abortion. They do not do abortion.
They do adoption?
They might could.
Yeah. Don't give her nothing. We can't have no. We don't need no strollers, Pampers, nothing. This baby don't even exist.
He said this baby package.
This baby is somebody else's baby already.
That's true.
This is his kid. Fake news. I'm doing it. I don't care.
Dang.
Why would you do... What do you think happens after you make this person stand up in front of your congregation and tell their biggest secret of their entire life as a 16-year-old? We ain't even asked why maybe you were doing the do.
Right.
Probably making a whole bunch of assumptions.
Right.
Because I really feel like whether you were sexually assaulted or not, I'm sorry, SA'd, I don't know what words can you use on the internet. It doesn't... They weren't going to help her with that.
No. Nah, they weren't.
But had she had gone and been like, I got raped, this is the situation, now I'm pregnant, they'd be like, let's hold a thing for you. We'll all lift you up. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. I can't say with any certainty because in a situation like that, whereas, she was sexually assaulted, especially within those communities, it's, well, where were you when this happened? What were you doing there?
Oh, dang. What were
You're
you wearing?
16.
I forgot to
What business did you have with that person?
None.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
What business did I have as the minor in this scenario with the person who was not the minor, maybe?
Right.
I don't know. I'm doing a lot of speculating. And that's because I think it's completely ridiculous to think that shame is going to that kind of shame. I am here for bringing back shame. We don't shame people.
The people
on
that should
things
be shamed.
that need to get shamed.
Right.
Never, ever, ever have you seen something like this be good.
No.
I mean, imagine, like, if your entire point is that you're a mom, you're going to be a mom now, and you need to like learn how to do that. What did you just teach? I'm still stuck in the fact that everybody's looking at me like I'm a harlot.
Right. Right.
I'm still stuck back there.
But you know what's crazy? I'm anxious. I'm excited for you to, not excited, but I'm interested in your opinion after watching the video, because as she was like stumbling to get the words out, they really did hit her with this. Okay, baby. They really did, like,
Take
you know,
your time, baby.
They really did hit her with that. And it's crazy because now she's supposed to feel good.
She's supposed to feel supported.
She's supposed to feel relieved and supported while being shamed at the exact same time.
Well, and her mom came out and was like, hey, y'all, I understand your concern and everything, but the pastor didn't do nothing wrong. This is how we do this. Like,
cool.
Sharp said, is she going to have a miscarriage from all that trauma?
Quite possibly.
Very possible.
Quite possibly.
Very possible.
Yeah.
And
highly
again,
likely.
What was the goal here? Is the goal to get her to never have sex again or to be a terrible parent? If you have a ton of trauma behind you and inside, like, that you have yet to deal with, and you don't clearly have anyone to go deal with that with, what does that parenting look like? What does it look like for her to take that child to the same church that just abused her in a way?
Bruh.
Intermission me, please.
Yeah, it's time for break. It's time for our break. When we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about the DOJ, the Department of Justice, their findings on the Tulsa race massacre, which won't be any surprise.
It's a new report.
Right. The billionaires that are hoarding water.
We will meet the Resnicks.
Mm-hmm. The Resnicks?
Yeah.
I hope these aren't the same residents I used to work for.
Oh, I guess.
That's wild. Okay. And then Trump, the Untouchable, got sentenced.
To presidency.
Right. Gets to do it all over again.
He got sentenced to running this country.
Crazy. All right, sit tight, y'all. We will be back in 10 minutes. Shout out to everybody that has joined on multiple platforms right now. We got more people on YouTube. This is great. This is amazing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Like, subscribe, follow.
Definitely
Be our
like,
friend.
subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you in 10. And we are back. Make sure to cut the music down. Boom.
You did it. Yay.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for sticking around. Everyone has been here through the break. We had some fun in that first hour, talking about Drake and academics and their foolishness. What else? What else did we talk about in the first hour? Shadiness in the church.
Yeah.
And the Sixers losing their bid for the arena being downtown, displacing Chinatown. A win for the people.
A win for the people for once.
Definitely. A win for the
Woo.
people.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo.
And shout out to Sharp, finally admitting that the Commanders are a better team than the Eagles.
Whoa. Did I see that in the chat?
It's in the chat. Don't worry about it. It's in the chat. Don't worry about it. So it's good things. It's good things. But yeah, we're back.
I feel like you starting things you ain't supposed to.
No. We back. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
So, yeah. Everyone's aware of what's happening right now with the fires here on the West Coast in California. I came outside today and the skies were 100% gray.
Yeah.
And I smelled smoke and I was like, well, I don't want to assume that what I'm smelling is what I'm seeing because our neighbors do light their chimney, light their fireplace a lot. And I was like, what's your tripping? Kept driving, and I'm like, no, it's gray everywhere. So we are at that point now where we're seeing this. Is that what we're seeing in our skies?
I don't know. We had really dense fog today,
Okay.
so I don't know that that's what's
happening.
is.
Right.
Because we know what the smoke looks like from wildfires, in
the past,
Southern Oregon, and in California, and it has had our skies, our air, filled with smoke
and ash. We've definitely dealt with ash directly.
We have not been dealing with that yet.
Okay. All right. But yes.
Real quick, just to the point of the church situation.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, Joy said churches are good for sweeping our grape under definitely statutory under the rug.
Ooh. Yeah.
And if that ain't the realest ever, because let us introduce you to the biggest billionaires, the Catholic Church.
So I'll jump into the Hoarders story.
Yeah, we're doing something else now.
Billionaire farmers controlling California's water. Stuart and Linda Resnick.
Are those the ones?
I have to double check.
Okay.
See if they own or at any point owned the Franklin Mint. Stuart and Linda Resnick, owners of the wonderful company, are the wealthiest farmers in the U.S. with a combined net worth of $11.2 billion. The agricultural empire includes brands like Fiji Water, Palm, Wonderful, Halos, and Wonderful Pistachios. I partake in 3 out of 4 of those things. What?
Well, because they're so sustainable.
Fiji Water, the way it goes down. Morgan shames me. She's like, you're paying all this money for this expensive water. I'm like, please. It goes down like silk. Not that I've ever eaten silk and know what silk goes down like.
Yeah.
But I can imagine, were it in liquid form, Fiji.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love pistachios. Shelled or unshelled. Palm, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
The man loves some pomegranates. He loves the pomegranate seeds.
However, their water usage, 150 billion gallons annually across 175,000 acres of farmland, has sparked criticism, particularly during California's ongoing wildfire and drought crises. In the 1990s, the Resnicks gained control over 57% of the Kern Water Bank, a taxpayer-funded reserve meant for drought relief. Critics argue that the Resnicks profit by selling the public resource back to local governments, undermining its original purpose. The couple faces backlash on social media for their perceived exploitation of public resources, despite branding their company as healthy and sustainable.
So, I just looked.
Oh, gosh.
Indeed. Same Resnicks. The Resnicks bought the Franklin Mint in 1986 and sold it in 2006. So I don't know when you were there.
Listen, it's far less about me working at the Franklin Mint versus me working at their house.
Okay.
You worked
for the Resnicks.
Yes.
Well, you worked for these same Resnicks.
Oh, no.
So
that's crazy.
They were able to buy the Franklin Mint mere years before, after they bought the Kern water source.
Do you understand that
the 80s were good to them? Oh, okay, no. So they bought the Franklin Mint in 86 and then they got the Kern Water Bank in 1990.
So this is me working at the Mint.
Solid years. Reagan was good to y'all.
99, 2000, 2001 in there. No. Yeah. Yes, within that time period. And I started working at Franklin Mint. There were layoffs. I was able to get a position at Franklin Farms. Oh, I hear it all now. And that's the house I told you that was there. They own the property directly across from the DuPonts.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, those DuPonts.
Yeah. So at that time, you could not explain to me that I was working for a billionaire family. And it would never, I don't think I would have been able to process billions at that time in my 20s. I did know there was some very interesting things working for them, though. They had a gas pump right outside the garage, and anyone that worked for the Resnicks got free gas. This is 93 octane. So my Saturn,
This is 93 octane. I want better for all of us.
my Saturn, any day I'm at work, just fill it up, top it off,
pump.
just top it off and write down your total and they had so much land, they would allow people to come onto the land to hunt deer so it wouldn't overpopulate.
Plus, they also liked watching people shoot wild animals, I guess.
The majority of the work we did was to maintain the property while they weren't there and to prepare for them coming and going. So they spent maybe 2 months out of the year at that property. So it was maintaining the pool, maintaining the grounds, dealing with vendors. And then when they were there, the full house staff would return. And then, it was pretty much, hey, stay out of sight, don't get in the way, da-da-da-da-da. Unbelievable. These are the same Resnicks.
These are the same Resnicks. Sorry, we do need to get back to the rest of that story. And that is, because there is just something to understand, the entrepreneurial journey there.
Wow.
Because Stuart Resnick started a janitorial services company that he founded during college. He sold the business in 1969 and reinvested in other ventures, including agriculture and media. Linda Resnick began her career in advertising, founding her own agency at 19.
What?
She transitioned into marketing and worked with Stuart on his ventures, becoming instrumental in branding their products like Fiji Water and Palm Wonderful. The Wonderful company, they built their fortune by acquiring and expanding agriculture and consumer goods businesses. Their brands like Teleflora, which if you've ever ordered flowers for someone in a different city or state and you use the 800 number, it's probably Teleflora or 1-800-Flowers, but it's the same thing. Teleflora, Halos, and Wonderful Pistachios became household names, contributing to their multi-billion-dollar net worth. They get the thing in the 80s. They began investing in farmland because some inside tip told them you should probably buy the land and the water. Really what it is they went to buy, they bought all the water because the things that they produce need a ton of water.
Right.
Right? So your pistachios and your pomegranates, those need, I think almonds maybe too, but they need a lot of water, especially for where they are. They displaced a bunch of people in Fiji to be able to, like the Fiji water that you buy. You probably don't want me to say this, but it's a natural spring in Fiji, and then they built a plant around the natural spring.
Yeah.
To bottle it.
So what I'm hearing...
So they kicked a bunch of indigenous people to Fiji out, and then we're like, we create jobs. You guys want to work here?
So what I'm hearing is...
You want to work here?
So what I'm hearing is... and actually revisiting that list, all 4 things I participated in. The Fiji water is authentic.
Wow, that's where you went?
It truly is. It's not like Nestle. You grab water from everywhere and throw it in the Fiji bottle.
Cut his mic.
This is real Fiji water that I've been paying for.
Yeah, no, I mean, they aren't Nestle, but they're on their tail.
I just wasn't aware of the costs, Not just what I was paying, but what other people were paying for my ability to
have beautiful, delicious, silky Fijian spring water.
Well, that's over with. Dang.
This is the kind of thing that makes you really see, for me, or I hope it really makes folks see, the tension between private ownership and a public, a critical resource for the public. And that is a public good. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Water has to be a human right, friends. It's a right to all of us. And commodifying those things is how we are here now. Like, making it completely fine to privatize everything. There is no reason that private citizens should get to own water sources that then they sell it back to the people that really fund it. Especially in a time of crisis. Like, the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's wild. Damn.
This is supposed to be sustainable. Like, every company that you are, eating off of right now is really on some healthy and sustainable shit, but really you stole the water. You stole the water. You stole the water. And right now we're dealing with people talking about DEI hires or some shit where the fires are because the black mayor said a black thing once. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what y'all
and also
really be mad at.
Like, fire chief is a woman. So
right.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Well,
so it was they're mad at Karen Bass for changing the city budget. But then they don't look and see what happened with the city budget or why money was allocated to where and when. And in fact, the fire department did not lose money.
Oh, they didn't?
No. They did not lose money in their budget. They actually gained money in their budget.
So it's disinformation. Because what I saw was they lost $17 million and like $100 and something million went to the police.
A bunch of money went to the police.
Okay.
Yes. But there's a caveat in the budget, and there's $76 million that the fire department got outside of their budget.
Okay.
So you actually ended up getting more. And that's not to say, like, we shouldn't be talking about budgets when we're talking about wildfires. Everything, all the money should be going to making sure that people to mitigate the harm.
Yeah.
And instead, we're having conversations about
people owning the water.
Well, no, that we're having conversations about DEI and how fires start, and Trump is saying fires don't start on his watch or something. I don't know. And how this would have been so different when in reality, it is the preference and the policies that conservatives have already built in that allow for a billionaire company to couple to own 60% of the water in California when I really need y'all to understand how big of a state that is. I need you to understand how many people live there. The economy itself of California is bigger than many nation states.
Who benefits?
Like, at what do we understand how we even got there?
Right.
They should not have been able to ever purchase that.
Right. That's
a thing you should not be able to purchase.
That's what I'm saying. Who benefits from selling them that? I'm fully charged. I don't know if you want some of that.
I don't.
Oh, nice.
I appreciate you, though.
Who benefits from, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? 60%? No one was like, maybe we shouldn't sell our water.
And in the moment, I'm sure somebody did. And I'm sure that there were people that protested. And I'm sure that there were people that had things to say that were politicians in that time. But the fact of the matter is, for all of the protests and for all of the things that people have to say, the end result ends up being billionaires still get to billionaire.
Right.
And they weren't billionaires back then. They weren't billionaires in the 80s.
Shit.
They was rolling in it. And imagine this. Let's think about this for a second, because in the 80s, the tax rate for over a certain amount of millions, you were getting taxed 80, 90%.
Right.
If you were still able to purchase the Franklin Mint and 60% of the Kern, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, how in the world could anybody have anything to say about that now?
You remember those gold and silver poker chips that we used when we played Uno?
Yeah.
It's from the Mint.
Yuck.
You said yuck. Wow. I used to work for the Resniks.
It's amazing.
I am really going to be struggling with that for a while.
For good reason, honestly. I'm not gonna act like that would be weird.
Frank, I need your help, sir. Yeah, I'm good. Wow. Okay. Wow.
This is why the Punisher exists.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. I did not expect that out of today's news. Like, as soon as I heard the name, I was like, Resnick, Billionaire. Wait, what? No. And indeed, yes.
In fact,
I used to work for them, and now here I am on the tail end buying all of their products. The Palms, the Wonderfuls, the Fijis.
job creators.
Don't you dare.
Oh.
Don't you dare.
Okay.
I had great benefits. I don't know who handles that. Who was their HR, any of that. It was amazing benefits.
I mean, that's great to hear.
God.
I don't care if you employ 100 people and give them great benefits if you buy 60% of the water resources in any other place. And mostly so that you can use it, not because it's even, to me, it is just so much profit over people that it's absolutely ridiculous. You're buying it because you need 150 gallons of, or, hold on. Let me get the amount right, because it's like, really? So that's just like annual, huh?
It's official. Cease has entered the chat.
Get out.
He said, talking about Trump, COVID started on his watch. He shut the fuck up. Man's threw out the pandemic playbook.
Hello?
I don't need it.
Man said, I don't know. Okay, we're going to get to that. By diverting massive quantities of water, 150 billion gallons annually, to their agricultural operations, they reduce the availability of water for emergency services and ecological preservation. Because they bought it.
Right.
Because they own it. So it's theirs now. It's mine now. I don't have to worry about if you need to use it or not. It's for me.
Right. Damn.
The idea that anybody is able to own water. The fact that we pay for water is a thing that really upsets me. The fact that we pay for water as renters or homeowners or whatever this is, it really, nah. There are other things to commodify. Right. The things that we absolutely have to live, which water is something that we absolutely have to have to live. It's essential. There is no question.
Bodies.
There's nothing, maybe there is some scientist out there saying you don't need water. They're wrong.
Cannot survive. No, you can't survive.
Let's be for real quick. This is a complete and total detraction that hopefully will not go too far. But did you see Lord Jamar get?
As soon as you said, did you see Lord Jamar?
I'm mad I even said that name. But did you see him on Godfrey's podcast? There was because he's a flat earther.
Lord Jamar is?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Well, yes. Hotep's going Hotep. They going flat earth. They going...
I hope Kendrick isn't a flat earth.
The frogs are gay when you put the water from the... They're going to do all that.
What did he say?
Well, they had a scientist on who explained... Well, he was going to explain, but Lord Jamar just kept being like, fuck this guy before he even got on, was even joined into the conversation. So he just came in blazing, was like... Everything you said was stupid. Every single thing you said was stupid. So this white dude just like went at Lord Jamar like that. Lord Jamar is like, I'm not having it. Anyway, no, you haven't seen it?
No, I have not. I try to stay as far away from Lord Jamar as possible. Primarily because I enjoyed a lot of Brand Nubian records. I used to spin them joints like
you don't want it. You don't want it to go bad.
I was great seeing him on the SVU. Like he was getting his acting going.
Shut up.
And then now this is what you're doing. I'm good. I'm super good, dog.
Olivia Benson.
Super good. Like I try to protect my peace.
Well,
problematic old heads
disturb your peace by making you watch that video later. It's really funny.
So okay.
What did it have to do with this? I don't remember. Now.
Okay.
No,
Lord Jamar.
I don't remember now at all.
Jeez.
Probably something to do with the people just don't recognize how foul this kind of stuff is. And so when you're like, yeah, I see no issue, right? With like them owning water or something like that.
Right.
It's like, this is so harmful to all of us to allow any one person or couple, company, owning the
Entity,
things,
whatever,
owning the things that we need to live, the essential things that we need to live.
It is own natural resources.
No different, honestly, to me, as housing is a human right. And I'm not saying that you don't get to, own 2 properties and one of them you rent out. But one, I need people to understand that that's supposed to be a job then, and you are supposed to take care of that property as a property manager. Mm-hmm. But anyway. Mm-hmm. 2, the idea of passive income off the back of exploiting somebody else, and so it is always going to just disgust me.
Yeah.
You're not worried about paying the mortgage of that thing. You're worried about profiting off of somebody paying rent.
Right.
And if you can't afford the mortgage on that thing, you can't afford to have it, is the way that I look at it. Like, if you can't take care of the 2 household situation that you're trying to create, should you have 2 houses?
When you said 2 household,
I mean, I messed it up.
I was like, I thought you were like, should you? I was going to say, should you cheat? I thought that was where you was going.
I liked it. It wasn't where I was going, but I do like where you were going.
If you can't maintain 2 households, should you have a side John?
That is always going to be...
Probably not.
That's always going to be my point.
Okay.
When it comes to that.
All right.
Should you put yourself in a position to where you could have another baby and you can't take care of a baby right now? Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm going to say no.
Are there ways that you could mitigate those circumstances and still do the fuck shit you do? Yes. Maybe do some of those.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. You want to get into your
Billionaires should not exist. I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
And that doesn't mean that you kill all the billionaires. That means we have to make it so that they are unable to amass and hoard that much wealth. And they certainly should not in any way be able to own the things that we need to survive.
Like the government.
Wait.
Do we need the government to survive? No, but you also shouldn't be able to buy a government.
Oh, okay. So no.
You know what I'm saying?
Cheers to you.
You know what I'm saying? Elon, crazy. Zuck, wild. Bezos, wild. Y'all are really showing yourselves right now.
They showed themselves years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody confused by the Zuck coming out here and being like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just realized censorship sucks. We shouldn't do it. Nope. Not from the same people that stole our data. Not from the same people that then gave us 2 different disinformation campaigns.
Right.
During an election to change the outcome of that election. Not from you. Are you going to talk about how facts matter, but also they shouldn't hurt feelings?
Right. Right. Let's jump into it.
All right. What are we doing?
Trump.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, on this week, right? Or last week?
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know. What's today?
It's a Monday.
Trump got sentenced. He was sentenced for his felony conviction in the New York hush money case related to payments made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. He was found guilty of falsifying business records, but was given an unconditional discharge, meaning he avoided jail time, fines, or community service. This lenient sentence, which closed the case without punishment, reflects the practical impossibility of incarcerating a sitting or president-elect official. This is the same dude, Ambush, that I would like to remind you that is in court doing the most. Like, right. He's in there, arms crossed, he's scowling, he's big mad. Why do I even have to be here? And then goes in and talks about his base and shit. Like, it's a hoax, it's a this, it's a right. That. Like,
he said this time the election was too big to steal.
So we had to stop the steal, then we had to let the steal happen, and then we had to too big to steal.
Too big to steal.
Too big to fail, too big to steal. Mm-hmm. Does he have any idea what the actual numbers of that election were?
None. He doesn't care. The fact that he got less votes doesn't matter.
There are things that a person convicted of a felony can and can't do.
Okay.
He can still vote. He can still hold office, because I guess that we've never even thought that we should update any laws as, we continue to progress in life. And I don't even mean progress. I don't mean we're going to get a progress. We're not going to do a progress. We're just the progression of time.
Yeah.
You can have somebody who you used to not be able to get a job if you said, yes, I've been convicted of a felony. But apparently, if you are, in fact, a fake billionaire,
do what you want.
Mm-hmm. So he can hold office, and he can continue to travel internationally, although because he'll get a diplomatic visa since he'll be representing the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Though some people, or not a visa, a passport, though some countries may restrict his entry, there are countries that definitely say you cannot come here as a felon. Shout out to Canada. Maybe that's why he wants to take it over.
Yeah. So he can move freely about the world.
What he can't do anymore is own a gun.
Okay.
He must provide a DNA sample to New York.
To be added to the state's crime data bank.
Yo.
This is the president. This is who y'all voted for.
This is, in any other circumstance, the DNA of the president would be like so restricted, redacted. No one can get to it. We don't know how. We don't know what his blood type is. We don't know none of that.
Do you think he's going to provide the sample?
What does that mean?
Do you think he's going to adhere to this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't know. They can get a DNA sample from anything, though.
Yeah.
His conviction could prevent him from holding a liquor license in certain states, but I don't think that will really matter. Or like his gaming license.
It won't.
Or,
none of that will matter.
Like would be barred from owning casinos, and I don't know if he owns any right now. I don't know if he ever really did own one, or if he just licensed his name.
Right. And just changing ownership.
Right.
Leadership in the business is just it's fine. Nothing's changing. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
The impact of watching somebody who has done a lot of felonies. Get 34 convictions. 34. If my speech impediment, if y'all didn't get it. 34 felonies. Gets you just go to work as the president of the United States.
Yeah. See, here you have the pardon possibility. Only New York's governor has the power to pardon Trump.
Right.
For his conviction, Governor Kathy Hochul, a Democrat, has indicated that pardoning Trump is unlikely due to his lack of remorse. Overall, while Trump's felony conviction marks a significant moment, its practical consequences are limited and retains most of his political rights. Do I think Kathy Hochul will switch gears and pardon him?
Do you?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I do. Because everyone talks a good game. They all
talk. Doesn't have any reason to, though. It wouldn't
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
No, we can. Yeah, we can. Yeah. Different. Yeah, we can be on completely different sides of that.
Yeah.
Everyone does this. I've watched too many people flip flop. I've watched too many people completely flip flop on this guy. Was it NBC? Was it NBC or CBS that had the lawsuit? For defamation that he launched against them, and they settled for 15 mil? They just paid out. I think it was CBS. And Mehdi Hassan was saying that legal analysts were saying that they could have won that very easily. Could have won that. But people are saying in in lieu of him winning, it's like they want to be in good graces. It's $15 million or something. Just pay it out, so we still have access. Just give him this money. It's no big deal. It's $15 million. Yeah. I've seen the strangest things happen in this man's orbit. Things that would just be like, oh no, what? Oh, okay. Didn't see that coming. And I know what you said. We got to leave. Didn't have that on my bingo card in 2024.
What do you fucking do? Don't say it.
So we got to come up with something.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it to me.
Didn't think that was a reason I was going to flip a table. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better. Real quick in the chat, I'm not going to make any presumptions, but I think someone that we know is P-Town might be in the chat.
I believe that is P-Town.
Hey, baby. How you doing? Okay, we got 15 minutes, and that means it's time to scream into the microphone like Alex Jones. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just briefly go over the Tulsa Race Massacre, and if you are unfamiliar, I'm sorry for the education system here, and if you don't live here, you probably learned about it.
You apologize for the education system. Damn, son.
You probably learned about it if you're living in a different country. I don't know. But it turns out the white mob in Tulsa was the government. Things that black people knew the whole time, I guess. I don't know. Couldn't listen to the people who lived it, I bet. Before the Department of Justice's recent review, the Tulsa Race Massacre was often underrepresented, mischaracterized, or omitted entirely from mainstream and historical narratives and education in the U.S. That's important, I think, to note from the beginning, to understand that we are now talking about a branch of the government has decided to look into a thing that happened over 100 years ago.
It's not a small thing.
Certainly not a small thing. Yeah. That does, in fact, there are still living people that were, there's only 2 left, but there's 2 living people who were 2 living black people, because one of the things that this report tells us is there's nobody alive to even talk about.
Right, to prosecute.
There's no perpetrators are alive. There's nothing to be done. So the Department of Justice has released a report on the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, acknowledging it as a systemic, coordinated attack by white Tulsans against the thriving black community of Greenwood, known as Black Wall Street. The report breaks the century-long silence from federal authorities on the massacre, which saw hundreds of black residents murdered, homes and businesses destroyed, and survivors detained in internment camps. The key findings: the Tulsa Police and the National Guard played active roles deputizing white citizens, many intoxicated and inciting violence, and even participating in killings, arson, and looting. You get to deputize you. Did you just do a killing? Be the police. The attack is described as a military-style invasion, destroyed 35 city blocks, leaving black families displaced and destitute. Survivors received no compensation or justice, while city officials obstructed Greenwood's rebuilding efforts, imposing fire codes to price residents out of the area and enable a land grab.
Bruh.
I didn't, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I didn't have the language to be able to say, when someone said, what are the racist laws on the books? There are no racist laws, so it's illegal. It's against the law. I didn't have the language and I didn't have the patience to explain all of the things that I knew that it doesn't have to be legal on the books for it to happen. When you are a part of the gang, a wink and a nod is all you need.
That's it. A wink, nod, and a look in the other direction.
That's all you need. So when the police are a part of it, and then you get to be like, well, we got nothing to do with that, y'all, but you was good old boying and throwing batons and handing people keys to cars for them to go run houses. Like, come on. I'll continue. The report conducted by the Emmett Till Cold Case Unit, which the existence of that on its own includes survivor accounts, scholarly research, and primary sources. While there are no living perpetrators to prosecute, Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark emphasized the importance of documenting the massacre's magnitude and brutality. She plans to meet with those survivors, descendants, and community stakeholders to discuss the findings. The two remaining survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre, Leslie Benningfield Randall and Viola Fletcher, lost their civil rights lawsuit against the city of Tulsa just in June of 2023. They had sought restitution for the destruction and lasting harm caused by the massacre. The Oklahoma Supreme Court dismissed their case, effectively denying compensation to survivors and their descendants. The decision highlighted how legal systems have historically failed to provide justice for the victims of one of the worst instances of racial violence in U.S. history. If it is one of the worst instances, which there are many, uncountable. If this is one of the worst, and it took y'all 100 fucking years to figure that out, what are we supposed to do with any of the things that you give us? What do you mean? Yeah. Those white people were made whole. Those white people got to get a land grab. They got together and said, fuck it, if these people were thriving, they might be able to do it again. Get them out.
Yep.
Get them out. And then you tell us it's hundreds of years ago, forget about it. Those women are living today. They lived through that. And there's only two. There are two people remaining that lived through that massacre. And they were like, help, y'all, this was terrible. And the Oklahoma Supreme Court was like, fuck out of here.
They were like, that had nothing to do with us.
I didn't own slaves.
I didn't own slaves.
I ain't do that shit. Why you being weird to me?
Right.
I just am like, I was born after that.
This is all while the National Archive is removing historical instances of racial violence.
Hello. Because, we can't talk about it. Well, you can't have it in school.
We're going to swap out a picture of MLK marching for a picture of Elvis meeting the president.
Is that for real?
No, dead ass.
I'm not opening. My eyes are closed.
Yeah,
they're not going to be opened.
The woman that is in head of the National Archive right now has said on record that they're making changes to some of the new exhibits and the existing exhibits to make sure people's feelings aren't hurt and that people aren't feeling uncomfortable.
About history that they say that they're not impacted by or didn't have nothing to do with and don't know anything about?
Fam, that's always my response. I thought y'all said that wasn't y'all.
Why you didn't have nothing to do, what's your feelings hurt for?
What you feeling uncomfortable for? You ain't own slaves. Why you upset? You should very easily be able to say, that was them. I don't do that anymore.
Well, LOL, that shouldn't even be the position that you fucking come from. Your position should not be to, what, it wasn't me. Like, it be fucking for real.
Right.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
I didn't own any slaves.
Word to Shaggy. It's true.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? If you did or you didn't.
I'm sorry. I thought we had discussed that at some point. Yeah, man. They're wilding. The National Archive.
I'm about to close my laptop because I got to flip the table.
Like, that's wild. Yeah.
It is amazing to me that hindsight is 2020, right? It is amazing to me that whatever it's called in current vision is just cataracts. Like, there is just nothing but clouds all over our fucking eyeballs when we're living. But look 100 years back. Damn, that was pretty bad, huh?
That was so bad. So she's going to meet with survivors and descendants to discuss the findings.
To say, sorry, we found out that it was everybody.
Then What?
This is what I want people...
I don't care about your findings. You're finding things that we've already told you happen. I don't care about your findings. Your findings are for white people. They're not for us. But we already knew. We've been passing this history down because y'all refuse to teach it. Your findings are for white people. And for them to be like, that was a thing that happened. And even after all of that, there's a great majority of them that are still going to be like, but are you sure it happened that way?
1,000%.
I don't like...
It doesn't matter how it gets depicted. It doesn't matter how detailed these things get to explain to us that, no, for real, this was bad. Like, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the indoctrination of that didn't have nothing to do with me. I don't know those people. I didn't benefit from that. Y'all need to quit, I don't know, complaining or whatever it is that those particular people think.
Yeah. That shit is traumatizing. It's triggering. It's like, it's gas. It's all the things. It's all the things that make it difficult to be black in America. Like, that's like the fucking icing on the cake. 2 years after denying them any type of restitution.
You want to give them the peace of mind?
The findings. Find these, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
A fucking peace of mind that what?
We gonna get a plaque?
You want to what I said happened? I know it happened.
That's crazy.
I know it happened.
Families are wiped out.
But the thing that gets missed is that there are families that are currently benefiting today from the displacement of those same black people. Like, that's a thing that gets lost in the idea of, oh, well, it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. Okay. If you are still benefiting from it today, and there is a person who was decimated by it, who is alive, who should be benefiting from it?
Right. It's real easy.
It's real fucking easy. But the experience of being a black person in this country is literally this. Terrible shit happens to you. You are told that shit is not happening to you. That's not even real. Don't even worry about it. HR took a look. Doesn't look like, doesn't seem like racism. There was not a racism done to you.
We've done an internal investigation and have found...
You're using the words that will, in fact, make me flip this table. I just want to be clear. There's equipment. I know you don't want it.
And I found that there's no wrongdoing.
That's our experience. So, and to add to it, then to come back and be like, we see you, we hear you, we believe you. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's strong.
I don't give a fuck what you say today.
That's strong as shit.
The idea that you are going to give us some sort of report that tells us, oh yeah, it turns out that white mob had a lot of government people in it. That white mob just wasn't one block of white people that lived in that area. And like,
you mean they weren't lone wolves? What y'all gotta
understand about systemic coordinated attack, military style attack. What people have to understand is there is nothing else like hating people so much for what they look like that them doing okay, completely independent of you, literally just like chaps your hide. You're like so much so that you need to do some murders about it. Gas up the fucking plane, Johnny. We got some to kill. Like, we got some bombs to drop.
I'm still in chaps your hide.
I assume that's what they say in Oklahoma. Is that what they say in Oklahoma? I just like
that really burns my britches.
Just living independent of white people and white gays. Like, you didn't have any reason to even go over to those 35 blocks. You didn't have nothing to do over there.
Really could have left them over there.
Could have left folks alone. But the way that they even tell that, if there's just like one little clan that's like, I'm not going to have it. And then that little clan does all of this. No, coordinated, systemic, military style attack. It was everywhere. They dropped bombs on city blocks. Like, I really need folks to understand. This is 1921.
Right.
What you doing with planes in neighborhoods, fam?
This ain't Philly in the 80s.
Thank you for listening to News with My Fiance. It's been a great one, and we're done.
To our story earlier, we were talking about Trump pardoning. C's brought up a good point. He said, with New York becoming redder by the day, she will pardon him if it benefits her reelection. And then he brought clarification. It was George Stephanopoulos. That's who I could not remember at ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, George.
Real quick, Jess said in the chat that the DOJ report is just that Spider-Man meme, and that is the real shit. That's exactly how we end this. Because that's it. That's it. Turns out it was us all along.
What do you know?
I want to know how much that report cost.
Us in
Because you could have gave it to them black
us in uniforms, and then us in plain clothes. That's crazy.
I hate it here. We all deserve better. But that's another episode of News with My Fiance. Monday night, Raw, live, in person, live Raw. That's in the books. We nailed it. Check. Thank y'all for spending all this quality time with us.
For real. This episode was made possible by our in-studio crew, Jess, and our remote studio crew, Kyle G, Residual Audio, and Michelle and Ross. Again, shout out to our previous studio sponsors. We Out Here Magazine, Spirit of Justice. It was an amazing, amazing opportunity working with y'all and being in partnership with y'all, and that support,
absolutely,
we wouldn't be where we are right now. Where we are right now is at Lily's. Shout out to Lily's.
Shout out to Lily.
And of course, big thanks to Lily and John, of course. And of course, big thanks to you all for watching, tuning in, commenting, staying engaged after the break. Shout out to everyone that shows up after the break for the second half.
Yes.
Shout out to everyone that stayed through the whole show.
Yes.
Shout out to our FM Thursday listeners.
Popping up on the YouTube.
Come on. Showing up on the Monday. C's, P-Town. You know what I'm saying? And
Big
again,
love.
shout out again to all the new listeners.
Yes.
New folks.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night. Is that not? I think that's what's next.
No. Stay engaged with us each week. Follow us on IG at News of My Fiance. And you can follow me at Scambeezy and follow Morgan Jones at Portland Morgan. Become a member. Sock it to our pockets. Hit up patreon.com/News of My Fiance. We have free levels. We have paid levels. There is all types of stuff up in there right now for your viewing and listening pleasures.
Do it.
And the extra special reggae horn is shout out to our current patrons. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Ross. And then again, everyone else that has actually joined our little network over there.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know what it is? Don't let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. None of us are free until we are all free. And we will catch you guys Thursday morning, 7:30 on X-Ray FM.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. And you can catch this show streaming live on YouTube every Monday night from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And our podcast episodes are available everywhere you listen to podcasts except Spotify.